Vitek here from Wani, and with us today we have Mariusz of Riverside. How you doing, brother?
I'm pretty well, thank you so much.
Man, you guys must be, stoked to have an album which is a complete, completely reflects the different side of Riverside. In the form of eye of the soundscape. How's the feeling right now in the camp with this sort of an album coming out in next 1 week?
Well, what we do, this is the result of plans we've got at the beginning of the year.
Hmm.
And because the situation, under some circumstances, lots of things happened, and we had to postpone this album a little bit. But
Right.
now we are releasing this, and well, what can I say? We're really happy for the result because we always wanted to release that kind of totally different album than than we usually release. But for us, it was really important thing, and I believe that thanks to this album, lots of people can take a look at our music from the wider and more distant perspective. So that was really, really important. And we're really happy that that kind of album can be released soon.
Absolutely, because the songs have been written probably like 10 years ago, sometime in 2007, and then you have progressed it till 2016. So it covers your entire musical spectrum from last 1 decade. So obviously, those who are new into Riverside will get to hear all the sounds you guys have went through, and those who have been a diehard fan of Riverside, again, it's something cool to look forward to.
Well, I think so. This is a compilation. This is the complementary album, but also, from the other hand, the totally new quality. As I said before, for us, it was really important to mark somehow. Just use it as a, I don't know, sledgehammer message that we are a different type of band than some people think we are. And thanks to this album, we show what is the most important in our music. And some kind of emotions, they're still the same, and the structures of the song are still the same. The difference is that it's a little bit different instruments and different approach to everything.
Definitely, it has more than an hour and 40 minutes of music in there, a highly emotional, a lot of atmospheric vibe, as I listen to it. And it's more like something like, you can just have a beer or have a coffee and listen to this. It's got that sort of in that ethereal feeling, which that mood, the atmosphere that kind of gives the listener insight of what the band was hoping to accomplish.
I always wanted to create something like the music of what is great for me in music, that you don't have boundaries, and you can push them in every direction. And I wanted to play in a band, always wanted to play in a band that have something more to say in a wider spectrum. And I know that there are people that can listen only one band all the time, right? So
Right.
let's assume that I would like to have that kind of band that when you woke up, you can play Anno Domini high definition. Later during the day, you just want to chill, so you just play Love Fear in the Time Machine with the nice songs.
Right.
Later in the evening, you would like to have both, so you play Second Life Syndrome. And at the end, when you're tired, you just play Eye of the Soundscape. So you've got totally different moods, but this is still the same band. And all these albums are different. And for me, this is I like that kind of, I loved that kind of bands always, and I wanted to play that kind of band, and I want to release that kind of albums. So now I grew up, I'm an adult, I'm an artist, I'm a musician, so I just do what I want to do. So a a little bit selfish, but cool.
Indeed, the first disc itself has just 5 tracks. I think ranging around 10 to 11 minute mark. So a lot of electronic elements in there. Kind of reminds me of I listen to this band called Kraftwerk. I don't know whether you're aware of them or not, but they have this virtually every electronic based element they have in their discography from last 4 decades. And that kind of
True.
reminds me the same feeling as I listen to this. You guys have arranged this in a pretty, it's like smooth. It feels like connected as the song progresses from third minute to the 6 minute onwards. So was that sort of an idea to let it flow, like let all the ideas gather into one place and formulate a song out of it, or it just happened naturally without you guys trying to overdo stuff?
Everything started with Rapid Eye Movement. That was the first track composed in 2007. We did that on a bonus CD because the regular album was already closed and already, sent to the manufacturer factory, and we remember that we wanted to add up something to the bonus material, but we didn't want to play with this drum recording again and stuff. Okay, so we said to each other, let's do this in this way without the drums. Only three of us. Let's improvise something. It would be like huge intro, whatever. Right. And we felt that this is really, really cool. And that was the beginning of the journey, because when we created Rapid Eye Movement, we said to each other, wow, this is something that we always wanted to, we were really enjoying listening that kind of music in the past, like the Tangerine Dream, Vangelis, Jean-Michel Jarre, that was the music of my childhood. Long instrumental tracks, and instrumental tracks are really connected with the imagination, right? Your own imagination. You had your own images in the center of your head. So that music was really important for our sensitivity, and we really wanted to play that kind of stuff. But we didn't even realize that we wanted to play that kind of stuff. When we created Rapid Eye Movement, later with every album, always, when we finished the regular one, we said, okay, so now let's do these improvising electronic ambient stuff. And so we did night session, later we did day session. And when it comes to the huge amount of material, let's say that we've got like 60 or 70 minutes, that was the good moment to combine all these things, add up something, because we didn't want to release the same again. That would be unfair and inappropriate. So it should be something new. So we closed each other, and we had this, fun again. That was something different, and thanks to this we could develop somehow as musicians and as a band, because that music was mostly based on improvisations or on the flow, exactly on the flow. We felt that we just started from nothing, and later we built up more and more elements, which was really cool. And so that was the time when we should finally show to the others that that kind of music, this is the musical DNA, and that was always next to regular albums. Even if we played, really hard stuff, we also played very mellow ambient stuff. So
absolutely, that's really good to hear. And every note on this album kind of honestly feels like that the Piotr is on the ghost side of it. It kind of reflects his style. I'm sure fans who are going to listen to this as the album release are going to cherish every note. It kind of has that emotional connect to it. May not be from the Riverside regular songwriting procedures, but with the kind of heart and soul that has been put into this, it kind of clearly takes us back to those days, even how Piotr used to work. So for you in general, I'm sure this must have been a very difficult task, obviously for other guys as well, to write and record something without him, isn't it?
Well, the end was really tough, because Piotr passed away just 1 week before the end of recordings, and I even thought that will be the end of that, and we will stop recording this album and we will not release this. But later I realized that for him mostly we should finish this, and I really wanted to have this ready until his birthday.
Right.
And he had a birthday on March 15th, so I promised myself, okay, we need to go back to the studio and we need to finish this, and later I need to go and show it when I will visit him in a cemetery. So that was the mobilization, but it was really tough at the end because we always had this feeling that he will come to the studio.
True. I understand.
And Eye of the Soundscape, this is a really powerful thing because this is the last tunes of Piotr's guitar that he recorded. And but anyway, I still wanted to express exactly the feelings we had during recordings. That's why the artwork is light, is bright.
Right.
It's full of colors. It's not dark or depressive because the music itself, it's not connected with Piotr's death. It's connected with Piotr's life. And we wanted to show the exact feelings we got during recordings of these compositions.
Right. That's really good to hear. Any plans of kind of doing a tribute set of this material from the Soundscape album?
Oh, maybe not connected with Eye of the Soundscape. We should definitely go back on stage, and we would like to start with a tribute show for Piotr in February, and we will play not maybe something from Eye of the Soundscape, but mostly our normal songs and regular compositions. So. But maybe we can also play something from this one. We'll see.
Sounds good. With respect to this as well, now that you guys are, you have plans of continuing as a trio. So I'm sure this is going to change your composition strategies in terms of how you guys used to write. So has there anything sort of been planned as to what what steps are you guys going to take ahead in terms of writing songs?
Well, I'm still the captain of the ship. I was the guy who's responsible for most of the compositions. So I think I have a strength to carry on and to take care of that. And I will be responsible for both guitars now. But when it comes to, play beautiful solos, so maybe we will ask someone for help. But anyway, I think we will do this and we will survive as a trio. Sooner or later, maybe something will change, but for now, it's I think the best decision that we've made, and that we could make. And what else? That's for sure we will become a different band.
Yeah.
I mean, we will have to experiment more. We will have to open for different approach a bit, which also probably help our music, because usually we're just the regular standard band, and we didn't experiment much. It was mostly based on compositions or the rock structure of our style. We could experiment on the bonus disc, like Eye of the Soundscape. To be honest, this is, I think, still believe that this is really original thing, because this is not pure electronic music, and this is more like a connection of electronic sounds with something organic, and it's closer sometimes to Mike Oldfield and Dead Can Dance than some electronic artists like John Hopkins or Tim Heckner, that kind of stuff. So it's different and original, and I think we also be more open for experiments on the next album. But I also think that we will be open for, we would like to go back a little bit to the more intense and heavy stuff. I don't want to say that we will record Anno Domini High Definition Part 2, definitely not. But I miss a little bit something which is much more intense.
All right, so that's really good to hear. And I heard that there is a possibility of a new trilogy. Is that right?
Well, I would love to create something new, which is not only the one album.
Right.
I always take a look at lots of things from the wider perspective, and I always plan something, 3-4 years ahead. So this time, I also think would be nice to at least do something in this lineup, more than one album. We should do more than one album, definitely. And the next trilogy, it doesn't have to be connect, with music or with lyrics, but sort of way. I would definitely continue something with numbers 7, 8, and 9 in some sort of way. So we'll see.
Right. You guys have always, I think when I read the statement which you made, you clearly mentioned that all these albums from the beginning of the Riverside till the Time Machine was sort of connected, which I think even fans did not have much in-depth idea. But now we are getting towards probably the second phase of your career. So, like you said, more room for experiment. You want to go a little more intense, and also kind of do a throwback to your core sound. So, experiments obviously is going to probably yield something more which Riverside fans would obviously check it out and maybe get a little more new fans in terms of how you guys are going to experiment.
Yes, maybe you're right. I don't know. For sure, with every year, with every album myself, as an artist, I would like to be more open for another, experiences. And I've got my solo project, LUNATIC SOUL, which is maybe not strict rock music. It's the boundaries are abandoned. It's hard to say what kind of music is that, and I really enjoy when I have to create something which it's not so simple and easy to define. It's okay. This is progressive rock or progressive music in a wider sense. This is something that I would like to use, but probably it doesn't have to be LUNATIC SOUL in Riverside, because what is really fun to me is the fact that I can create two different separate worlds, musical worlds. I don't have to play as a solo artist exactly the same what I do in Riverside, because these things I do in Riverside. In LUNATIC SOUL I can create something different. So for sure I want to express different boundaries, and in Riverside now it's for sure I have more possibilities, because it will not be so obvious, Right. This band is not so like, okay, let's start with the guitar and the drums. No, definitely not. So it will change our music, it will change us, but who knows, maybe it will help also to create something which is really good.
Absolutely, man. Would be really great to hear. And so would 2018 start with the next album of Riverside? Have any sketch in mind in terms of what's the plan?
Well, I think that first and foremost we need to finish the Eye of the Soundscape promotion. In Poland we will release a book, our biography, so we need to promote this too. I hope that it will be released worldwide too, one day, but it's not depend on us so far. And what else? Next year I'm going to release the new LUNATIC SOUL album. And after that, I will focus on the brand new material. If we feel good, maybe we'll go back on tour. We will see. Everything depends on the show in February. But after LUNATIC SOUL, I will definitely focus on the Riverside. We will go back to the studio and create something. Start to create something, work on something. And if everything will be fine, 2018, the beginning of 2018, that will be the new Riverside record.
Wow, that'll be really good to hear. Mariusz, good luck with the release of the Soundscape. I'm sure fans are gonna love it, and obviously with the farewell, the gig which you guys are gonna do in Poland in the memory of Piotr. So thank you so much for spending some time.
Thank you so much.